Need for Speed 2017 confirmed 100%, it is coming. Oh my god. A lot of us knew it was coming, but now it's set in stone. It's just held up in front of our eyes. We've seen some of it. We've heard some about it. Let's get into it, because you're probably like, I don't want to listen to this play all day. We got this teaser and it instantly shows you so much about the game. For example, a 350Z, and it seems to be set in somewhat day. Doesn't it look like it's in day? I think it's in day. I mean, it does look a bit later in the day, which, I mean, the last Need for Speed also had a later in the day setting, but it looks like it's a bit brighter. It's just got a color filter all over it. This same image is shown over a few various different websites, but there's a longer version here, less quality because it's a smaller image, but you can see a bit more. You can definitely see that 350Z is modified. Big wang and all, design and all, it's got some modifications on there, and it just says modifications, right? Also on the big image, you can definitely see that this is pretty much like a mountain looking area, almost like a deserty feel, and it has less of a filter on this image as well, so you can get a bit more of the color, and you can definitely see that it's pretty much more focused to be kind of sunset, and it does actually look to be later. But either way, it's lighter, so, you know, you'd assume that there would be some form of more light, because again, that was one of the big things that people were talking about. We want daytime, so is it there? You be the judge, but I think it looks like it is. Obviously, on the motel vacancy sign, you can see that it says June 2nd. That makes me think that there's probably going to be a trailer of some sort on June 2nd. That's what you'd think anyway, or something at least bigger information. I'm hoping that that's not the only drop we get before EA Play. I want some more. Ghost, please feed me. But June 2nd, that's where I assume we're going to properly see this game in action, at least in teaser trailer form. Like, remember for Need for Speed 2015, the teaser trailer? Yeah, that was amazing. That had got us all hyped. So I'm hoping the same is done here. These images also confirm there is like a desert area in the game, which is awesome because it does hopefully mean mountains, which also something is confirmed in the article, which we'll talk about in a minute. But mountains, mountain roads, you know that means flipping some whibs. And people are like, what the hell does that mean? It means drifting, alright? Welcome to the BlackPanthaa channel. There was an article released alongside this, giving us some more detail on the game. So how about we dive into that? Hey everyone, we wanted to drift by. Haha. Love me some memes. Talk about a topic that we all know. You're just as passionate as we are. The next Need for Speed. Honestly, I think you could have just wrote that and put the image out, and everyone would have been like, I'm buying it. Don't need no trailers. I'm buying it. By now, many of you will have heard the talk that a new Need for Speed game is in development here at Ghost Games. We're happy to announce that by the end of 2017, you'll be playing a new Need for Speed game. Remember the video I made talking about will it be 2017 or 2018? I was right. It was 2017. Come on. Financial year 2018, come on. We have a lot more details to share as we get closer to EA Play in June. In the meantime, we can share a few details about various aspects of Need for Speed, what they mean to you, to us as developers, and to the franchise as a whole. Already getting a bit spicy here, so pretty much confirmed that we're actually going to get some more details leading up until EA Play. In EA Play, I imagine they're going to probably drop like some trailer or something like that, like they normally do, but there's going to be more up until then, so I'm excited. First up, we wanted to say thank you. When we launched the reboot back in 2015, we were blown away by the amount of feedback you gave us. It was clear how passionate you are for Need for Speed, which is a large part of why we're here today. I think that if we weren't on Need for Speed about changing it, they wouldn't know where to be. You know, they would be in a maybe completely different direction as to what we actually suggested and what we wanted. But being able to actually speak, like, we've had a massive impact on Need for Speed, and honestly, that feels amazing to be spoken to by ghosts like that. Customization, we love it. You love it. That's right. That bit wasn't a cut. Everyone loves it. What's not to love? Rest assured that we're committed to customization having a home within the Need for Speed series. It's not going away, and it'll play a stronger role as ever as we move forward into the next game and beyond. Obviously, like in the last game, customization played a massively strong role in the game, in where everyone had their own like kind of thing, as in drifters, and then they added drag races and that kind of thing. They had a lot of there was a lot of points of customization in the game. It wasn't just slapped on for the uselessness. It was like there was a reason for it. And whoop whoop. Let's talk about, how was I supposed to read it? Like whoop whoop or whoop whoop. Probably more like that. Let's talk about cops. There's nothing more satisfying than getting into a cop chase and feeling the heat in your tail as you tear it up through the city. There's a city. I mean, come on. I'm reading between the lines. It's what I'm meant to do here. Cops in pursuit, races up ahead, and out of nowhere, bam! They bring a rhino to a street race. You got this? A rhino. Do you remember what rhinos are? You don't remember? Well, you missed out on the Most Wanted episode yesterday. If you did, that's not very nice. But rhinos, essentially, back in Need for Speed days of old and Most Wanted, rhinos were these big, massive SUV units that smashed head-on into you in a high-end pursuit. If they are back, that is going to be freaking awesome. That means there's different tiers of cops here again. That was something that was missing in the last game. Everyone was in Crown Vics and they didn't really level up. They were just stayed at the same level. They didn't come on you any harder. Whereas this, I imagine, because of what they said, they're going to have different tiers. As we said, we wanted in one of the previous wishlist videos, different tiers of cops, including rhinos. Even if it's just one level of cops with the rhinos that come head on to you. I don't care. That's it. I'm excited to be smashed and rage, alright? Whether you're checking out your freshly customized ride or smoking the competition in an event in the canyons, can we just talk about they just said canyons? Canyons. They said let's do some wibs, alright? You're gonna want a world that not only looks beautiful, but offers you the space in which to do what you want. That took me a few more times than you might imagine. We're dialing up the action and allowing you to tear up the tarmac and dirt to your heart's content. Couple of things in there, right? Let's talk about this. They said the map's going to be beautiful. I mean, Need for Speed has always been beautiful. It's an EA game. EA games always look fantastic. It's going to be beautiful again. The last game looked absolutely stunning, especially with the lighting. Because they had the nighttime, they could just perfect the nighttime only, and the world looked fantastic. But this time, maybe it's going to be beautiful in night and day. We got some teasers. Personally, I don't think day is a big deal to myself. But for some people, that was one of the main things, so maybe we're going to get that, especially with a beautiful world. But they also mentioned more space, so I'm assuming that means a bigger map, which is generally what you get when you get a new game. You just want a bigger map. So how big are we talking? I don't know. It just says bigger. So I'm assuming they mean bigger. What I'm hoping, though, is it's more varied areas. Some areas that are just completely different to what we expected in the last one. And by the fact they've got this, like, desert area that we assume on here of some kind, you'd think that they've got some very different areas in the game. Do we have snow? Do we have a snow area? Can we do some skids in the snow? Probably not. But, I mean, that would be pretty cool, too. They also said tearing up tarmac and dirt to your heart's content. So This makes me think that we're actually going to be able to go off the road a little bit. Now, we were actually able to go off-road in the previous game, but there was nothing to kind of push us to actually do that. Which just opens up a whole nother, like, bag of worms. Like, oh my, what are we going to be doing in this? Need for Speed has always been a street racing game, but it hasn't been shy of tampering in other areas. For example, it had track racing, especially in Pro Street, and also actual street racing, not street racing, actual track racing in Need for Speed Shift and Shift 2. So, I don't know. I think kicking up dirt, I don't necessarily know if it means actually going off-roading, because Need for Speed, as you see, it says it has a big point of customization. Customization is like the big main focus. But that could also be... I don't know. Either way, we're going to be racing on tarmac and dirt. So whether that means, as I said, just a little bit off-roading, kind of going off-road with your supercars and being able to actually maybe go off of the track rather than having the barriers, that means, even if it just means that, that's going to be awesome. Burn rubber as you throw a car around a corner sideways and floor it as you hit an epic jump away from the cops. We're building the world, but what you do in it is the aspect that excites us the most. So I'm assuming, again, it's just an open world, which is obvious because Need for Speed's always been pretty much an open world for the longest time. Let's finish on one of the biggest discussion points around the last game, always online. To say that this is a topic you're passionate about would be an understatement. And whenever there's a topic that gathers as much attention and feedback from you as this did, we take note. So, when the release date rolls around for the next Need for Speed, you'll be able to play through a single player experience completely offline. Before you ask, and we know you will, this does mean you'll be able to pause the game. Hallelujah! The gods of Need for Speed have spoken. We can pause the game. Best feature. Don't care about anything else. Best feature, especially if they got the aggressive cops, because that, I mean, if they had the aggressive cops and they weren't able to put Need for Speed Rivals, no, this is awesome. Actually, be able to play the single player, so that makes me assume there's going to be a split multiplayer game mode, which also excites me. What I do hope though is that on this, as I said in previous videos, I hope that the multiplayer actually allows you to bring your cars between them. Like, you don't actually have to unlock them again in online, because I would really like my cars that I've grinded for in single player to be online on multiplayer, and also when I upgrade them or something and do something in multiplayer, if I can, I'd like the same effect in single player. I would like the cars to be updated there. Need for Speed has an amazing history, and at Ghost we feel very honored and privileged to be driving it forward. We're speaking to you again very, very soon. Here's to a bright future together. Ghost. I love you, Ghost. So much information in this video. There's so much to talk about in the comments. Honestly, out of all these things mentioned, what is your favorite thing? Is there a 350Z in the picture there? Is it the fact that this map has a desert and canyons? Is it the fact that the cops are being, you know, re-bumped up to having rhinos and stuff? Customization playing a game? Possibly having the barriers removed and being able to go freely anywhere? There's so much in this to talk about. The always online is gone. That was something that a lot of people disliked. And being able to pause, honestly, that's one of my favorite features. And the fact that we're going to get more information leading up to EA Play, which is around the E3 time if you don't know. So, I am so hyped for this. I am so hyped. You have no idea. So tiny of information, but we've got so much out of it. Let me know your thoughts. Have I missed anything that maybe you thought of? Let me know down in the comments. As always, be sure to smash the subscribe button to stay locked in for Need for Speed 2017 stuff. Let's do this. Be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.